Hi everyone, welcome to another What's for Dinner video. My name is Heather. I'm so glad to have you here and I hope you enjoy these recipes. The first thing I'm making is bacon balsamic chicken with these zucchini fritters. I do have a 5 ways to use zucchini video that I make these fritters in, but they're something that we eat all summer long because we have so much zucchini that my mom gives us from her garden. So the first thing I do is grate 1 medium zucchini and 1 medium potato. I use golden potatoes because they're just our favorite kind, but you can use any kind you want. Then I add 1 egg to the batter and whatever seasonings you want, really. You could just do something simple like salt and pepper. I put the Kinder's The Blend seasoning in, which is just one of my favorite seasonings to cook with. Then I get about 3 or 4 green onions and I chop those up, the greens and the whites, and I throw them in there. And then I put in a 1/4 cup of flour. Now you can use any kind of flour that you want. You can use gluten-free, you can use almond, whatever flour you have on hand. And the batter's gonna look a little bit dry at first, but that's okay because we're gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes and some of the moisture will get drawn out of the zucchini and the potato and it'll be more of a batter. Now I'm getting started on some bacon here. I'm just chopping it up and I'm going to get it into a pan because I have to pre-cook the bacon because at the end we're just gonna put it on top of the chicken. Now I am thinly slicing some red onions for some tomato and red onion salad, I guess you could call it. It's just something I've been eating since I was a kid. My husband doesn't love raw red onions, but if you slice them thin enough and you put them in ice water, it takes a lot of that bite that they have away from them. So I really recommend that you guys do that if you don't think you like raw red onions because they add a lot to like a fresh garden tomato. Okay, now that our oil has that nice sheen in the pan when we shake it, we know it's hot enough. So then I'm just going to get some zucchini fritters into the oil and I shake my oil around to make sure they have like a nice coating on the bottom. But as you can see, some moisture has come out of the zucchini and they're more of a batter than they were when we mixed them up. So now I'm just throwing some red onion on top of the tomato and I'm getting our chicken thinly sliced. The thinner the better for this. I'm using chicken breast tenders, but you could use any kind of chicken you want as long as you slice it very thin. After you slice your chicken, I just cook it right in the bacon grease that we cooked our bacon in. I don't even put anything on the chicken because the bacon and the balsamic give it so much flavor. Now I'm just flipping these zucchini fritters and my mouth is watering. These things are one of my favorite things to eat in the summertime. They are so delicious, and now I'm just getting our second round into the frying pan.
When you're not here, the sun don't shine. When you're not near, I don't feel like I do when you're with.
Okay, once we have everything cooked and ready, it's just time to assemble our plate. So I love the zucchini fritters, so I eat like 3 of them. And then I just have our tomatoes with Italian dressing and red onion. And then there's the chicken breast tenders that are thinly sliced and cooked. I just put some bacon and balsamic glaze, and you guys, this is such a good summer dinner.
I know if it's love.
Okay, here is another super easy and super delicious dinner recipe of mine. It is the easiest ever chicken enchiladas. So just grab a rotisserie chicken, shred some of the chicken breasts off of it. I mean, I used all the chicken breasts off this chicken. Get a can of your favorite enchilada sauce. You can use red or green. I love this green one in the mild. And pour some over the chicken and then get a 9x13 casserole dish and some corn tortillas and cheese and you're good to go. So then you just start layering. Just make sure you get the corn tortillas wet because you don't want this to dry out while it's baking in the oven. Then I just have some finely shredded Mexican cheese that I put in between the layers. And I just keep layering until basically until I run out of chicken. And then I throw it in the oven at 375 for about 30 minutes uncovered, and you're just warming it through and getting the cheese all melted because everything essentially in here is ready to eat.
I know if it's love that I'm speaking of. This is love if I make
Okay, now that everything is in the oven, I'm going to make some Spanish rice. So a lot of people start off with oil in their pan, but I think it gives the rice such a good flavor to start off with butter. I also have this on medium low heat. You don't want to brown your rice at a high heat because you don't want to burn the rice. You're just basically toasting around it. And you're creating color with the rice. So as you see, as I speed up this video, the rice will turn kind of white and then it'll get a little bit of a beige color to it. And that's what you want. You don't want to burn your rice before you add the seasonings and water.
When you're not here, the sun don't shine. When you're not near, I don't feel like I do when you're with me. It felt like suddenly our souls collided, hearts entwined. When I decided to make you mine, I'm never going back. I know that's a fact.
Okay, now that your rice has some good color on it, it's time to add your seasoning. So I use the chicken tomato bouillon for my seasoning. A lot of people will use tomato sauce, and that's great too. This is just what I always have on hand. I don't have to worry about opening up a can of everything, and the rice still comes out delicious. So I put maybe a teaspoon of that in there. I'm using a cup of rice total. And then I put some Kinder's The Blend because it's salt, pepper, garlic, and I use it in pretty much everything I cook. And then I give that a stir and I add 2 cups of water, stirring. I like to turn this rice to low now instead of medium low. And I put the lid on and I just let it simmer for about 20 minutes.
Worry about my options, yeah, I used to think too much. I think too much.
Okay, our rice is now done. It is super fluffy and delicious and the flavor is really good. I know it's not as bright red as maybe you've seen other Spanish rices, but I promise you it's delicious. Now I'm just getting everything plated up. I cut up a little bit of salad while everything was in the oven. I got some enchiladas on the plate and then I threw some rice on there, and this was a super satisfying meal.
That I'm speaking of.
Okay, here's the last recipe I'm showing you guys for this week. It is seared salmon with bacon potatoes, and it was delicious. So I'm just getting some tomato salad started again. I mean, you guys, it's summer and summer's coming to an end, which means the garden tomatoes are going to come to an end, and I miss them every year when they go away because they're just the best thing ever. So we have them almost every night in summer with whatever we're having for dinner. I'm just getting these sliced up. Gonna get my red onion sliced up, and you guys, if you haven't tried putting your thinly sliced red onion in a little bit of ice water to take out that bite, you really should. Unless you prefer that bite, you know, by all means, you do you. Anyways, I'm just getting some bacon chopped up to make these bacon potatoes. I get the bacon started in a pan, and then the secret to these is cutting your potatoes thin. So you don't want them so thin that like with a mandolin that you can see through, but you definitely want them on the thinner side. And what you do is cook them in the bacon fat, but you par cook your bacon so that when the bacon is finished cooking, the potatoes are also finishing cooking. So it's kind of a timing thing, but it's so worth it. They're delicious. Once your bacon is probably a quarter cooked like this, I just sop up some of the bacon grease with a paper towel. You can spoon some out if you want. It just doesn't, the potatoes don't need that much grease to cook in. So then I add my potatoes, I give them a stir. Oh, I add some of the Kinder's The Blend because I add it to everything, and paprika. Paprika and potatoes love each other. So if you haven't been putting paprika on your potatoes, you should try it. Okay, now I'm just getting this salmon fillet cut into thirds. That was just the thickness that I thought would be good with it. Then I'm adding more the blend. You guys, the blend is just salt, pepper, and garlic, so you really can't go wrong with it. And then I add it to a hot pan on medium heat. And I want to say I cook these for about 3 minutes on each side. We don't like our salmon super rare, but I also don't want it to get so well done that it dries out. Some people might think this salmon was burnt, but my husband and I actually love a crispy kind of salmon. These potatoes also might look burnt to you, and I kind of thought that they were a little burnt, but they ended up being so delicious because we got that nice crisp on the bottom, but the actual potatoes were so soft. And as you can see, the bacon continues to cook with the potatoes, and by the end of it, they're both done perfectly and at the same time. Okay, now it's just time to plate. So threw some Italian dressing and the red onions on the tomatoes, got them on the plate with the salmon and the bacon potatoes, and this was a really, really good meal too. I hope that you guys liked this video. I hope you try at least one of these recipes or one of these side dishes, and please, if you do, let me know. I would love to hear how you liked them. And I just want to thank you again so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.